My name is Kathleen Eberhardt, and this is my video attestation. All Aspen University students are required to abide by Aspen University's academic integrity policy as outlined in the university catalog. The academic integrity policy is built upon the concepts of honesty, truth, fairness, respect, and responsibility. By taking this exam, I agree to abide by both the academic integrity policy and the rules outlined in this exam. With this recording, I am attesting that I have personally completed the proctored exam and that the information I submit is true and accurate to the best of my knowledge. Academic leadership in social media. The problem, it doesn't exist. To be sure, however, in online education, there is a lack of focus on the key leaders in the existing literature. OASE 2023, page 335. Because it is a coveted soft skill, the goal is to train online instructors how to use the technology to facilitate critical thinking. The focus is doing this in discussion boards in a similar style to the online law and legal systems taught in WebCT at the turn of the century. Today's most popular and readily available interactive environment being the social media site Twitter. X. This presentation seeks to expand on terms and concepts touched on in the essay. The solution, scaffold knowledge. The topics being covered today are personalized learning, cybersecurity, emotional awareness, emotional detecting, leadership styles and ethics, as well as critical thinking, creativity, and compassionate communication. The goal is to produce patterns for structure. In so doing, the lesson applies constructivism learning as material to fill academic scaffolding. Constructivism is when people actively construct their perception of the world and interpret the things and events that surround them in terms of what they already know. Curriculum design. No-Do-Be umbrellas, KDB, provide a holistic framework for evaluating performance in terms of what individuals know, what they are capable of doing, and who they are as professionals. Look to state standards when describing the contents of KDB umbrellas. Having a clear representation of the course content, standards, and task assessment tied to the KDB umbrella, educators can quickly identify what may need revision and make adjustments without disrupting the unit entirely. Drake 2012. ADDIE. Because it is a popular and well-known instructional design model, ADDIE will be analyzed within the Drake 2012 assessment structures. The ADDIE model is a widely used instructional design framework that stands for Analysis, Design, Development, Implementation, and Evaluation. This model provides a systematic approach to designing and developing effective online courses. It can be applied to various instructional design contexts, including online learning. The No-Do-Be umbrella includes enduring understandings and 21st century skills. Allocating 5 design stages to these categories is based on processes and projected outcomes that will be further explored as the presentation progresses. Rich culminating assessment tasks. Interdisciplinary assessments, design thinking standards, exploratory web, and KDB umbrella, scientific prototype assessment, and valid and reliable assessment tools such as the EQI 2.0 are all crucial elements in assessing individual and collective capabilities. These assessment tools and methods have both positive and negative implications when utilized in various fields, particularly in education, social media, and research. On one hand, they allow for a comprehensive and holistic understanding of the individual's abilities, skill sets, and competencies. On the other hand, they may also be subject to biases, misinterpretations, and limitations that can affect the accuracy of the results. It is essential to understand these implications to use these assessment tools effectively and responsibly. The content of this presentation is designed as multidisciplinary activities that lend themselves to supporting exercises and rich culminating assessments. State standards. Aligning curriculum with standards is an essential process for ensuring that students receive a quality education that prepares them for the future. As education becomes increasingly globalized, it is critical to map out how curriculum changes with standards on a horizontal level, considering international standards and benchmarks. Now, the KDB umbrella is a tool that can be used to align curriculum with California state standards. Personalized learning is a 21st century skill evolving into the enduring understanding construct of the KDB umbrella. It also fits within the analyze, design, and implement components of the ADDIE framework. Payne, Steiner, Baird, and Hamilton, 2015, introduced a review of strategies that encompass a set of tools and features of the personalized learning environment. Some of these, such as the provision of flexible pathways, are central to a personalized approach, whereas others, e.g. use of technology, might be viewed more as enablers of personalized learning. Adaptive learning system. To reveal patterns of learning that explore various personalized learning styles, research the effectiveness of adaptive learning platforms like Newton or Smart Sparrow in improving student outcomes. Student achievement. Investigate studies that examine the impact of personalized learning on student achievement in K-12 or higher education. Anderson, Huttenlocher, Kleinberg, and Leskovic, 2018, developed a taxonomy of individual behavior, examine the different behavioral patterns of high and low achieving students, investigate how forum participation relates to other parts of the course. This framework provides a useful way to organize discussion of school design features and implementation. Consider multidisciplinary lessons and delivering activities as miniature-rich culminating assessments. Educational data mining. Romero, Ventura, and Garcia, 2008, introduced the idea that data mining knowledge could be oriented towards students in order to recommend learners' activities. Resources suggest path pruning and shortening are simply links that would favor and improve their learning, or to educators in order to get more objective feedback for instruction. They use free data mining tools in Moodle. Instructor social presence. In support of personalized student learning success within the window of online education, a Shehzad and Charles 2023 study shows how instructor social presence positively influences student engagement and attrition. Cybersecurity is a 21st century skill that requires people to know some basic technology concepts in order to recognize fundamental interplay between the elements of the internet, well enough to recognize when something is awry. It fits within the developed construct of the ADDIE framework. IT stands for Information Technology. It encompasses the use of computers, software, networks, and electronic systems to store, process, transmit, and manipulate data and information. IT is a broad field that includes hardware, software, cybersecurity, networking, and more. Cybersecurity includes considering such things as cyber war. Cyberware is probably the scariest form of software because of the growing dependence of contemporary social and economic life on these vast systems run by highly sophisticated computers. Hack the computers and the damage can reach very far, breaching the privacy of millions of people, shutting down electrical networks, disrupting financial services, obliterating medical records, intercepting military communications, and breaching the control systems of dangerous weapons. Gross and Measles, 2017, page 12. Soft skills. What's valuable are these soft skills like problem solving and critical thinking, which more than half of cybersecurity professionals surveyed in a recent report by ISACA, the International Professional Association focused on IT governance, cited as the top skills in gap in security, DUA 2023. Secure our world. Be sure to learn how all Americans across the cyber ecosystem can be part of our national cyber defense by adapting essential cybersecurity habits. Securing Our World is a program that offers resources and advice to stay safe online. Cybersecurity, no date. Tech to cope. Now, weave educational leadership and social media into the cybersecurity discussion. Baliki Unlu, Bayram Uzum, and Zinki 2022 explain how social media is increasingly being used by school administrators for various reasons, one of which is speedy communication. With this, it can help with cybersecurity. It makes sense to use the technology to cope with adversities being presented by the technology. Rapid alert and timely preparation come to mind. Emotional awareness is a 21st century skill and enduring understanding within the KDB umbrella. It fits within the developed component of the ADDIE framework. Emotional awareness is being in touch with what everyone is feeling, ideally to the benefit of each person. This is as much an enduring understanding as a 21st century skill, where people grow to know the concept of emotional awareness in order to recognize the presence of emotions so as to be aware of how to behave to move in the interaction in a productive direction. EQI 2.0, integrating the EQI 2.0 assessment in academia and incorporating emotionally aware social media lesson plans can help students develop their emotional intelligence skills, which can in turn lead to improved academic outcomes and better social and emotional well-being, EQI 2.0. No date. That being said, consider the following sober reality. How important is emotional awareness for starving people? How many of these people live in the developed country called USA? No goal. Al-Libi said, knowing the goal of the presenter of ready-made programs is the key and the gateway to moving in the direction, the right path. The goal today is to take some apparently disparate topics and weave them into a cohesive comprehensions. Technology burnout. Achieving balance between using technology to one's advantage and maintaining emotional balance is crucial to achieving success in both personal and professional lives. SEL. Students can develop important skills such as empathy, self-regulation, and resilience through various methods such as social emotional learning, SEL. Research has shown that students who receive instructions in SEL have better academic outcomes and fewer behavioral problems. Durlach, Weisberg, Domenici, Taylor, and Schellinger, 2011. Dialogues. Could students develop the emotional awareness to participate with mature functional dialogue? Al-Libi said, yes, it is possible to develop through practice, learning, and reading in the presence of the basic rule pedagogical teaching method. Coping. Do people develop some capability to cope with things when they are more emotionally aware? Today's data supports how emotional awareness is the key to success in all areas of life. It is taught throughout K-12 in the California State Standards. It starts in grade 2 and goes through grade 12. In high school, empathy lessons become part of the health science and medical technology curriculum. Emotion detecting is a 21st century skill evolving into the enduring understanding construct of the KDB umbrella. It also fits within the analyze, design, and evaluate components of the ADDIE framework. Sentiment analysis. Branching from the field of sentiment analysis, SA, whose core intent is to analyze human language by extracting opinions, ideas, and thoughts through the assignment of polarities, either negative, positive, or neutral, is the subfield of emotion detection, ED, which seeks to extract finer grained emotions such as happy, sad, angry, and so on from human languages. Campon, Wayu, and Nuno Mansa, 2020, page 1. Detection approaches. Keyword recognition, KR, is a detection method. These emotion lexicons contain emotion search words or keywords such as happy, hate, angry, sad, surprise, and so on. The task is to find occurrences of these search words in a written text at the sentence level. Campion et al., 2020, page 9. Infantile stage. There is an argument against using the technology to assess people's emotions without their permission for any reason. Depending on a computer, which is essentially a world of absolutes, ones and zeros, to tell how someone feels, something as gray as an early morning haze is shaky ground. The variation is in the programming, and that's dependent on the programmer's perceptions. Variations that may or may not be accurate. Campion et al., 2020, page 5, speak about how ED from text provides inadequate knowledge of effective text extraction methods for the field. Due to its infantile stage as a result of the paucity of research presents a major hurdle in detecting emotions efficiently from written text. How's that for a sentence? Leadership styles and ethics are 21st century skills evolving into enduring understandings within the construct of the KDB umbrella. They also fit within all components, analysis, design, develop, implement, and evaluate of the ADDIE framework. Empathize. By developing the deep sense of awareness needed to care for ourselves while caring for others in the world around us, we can greatly enhance our potential to work for change, ethically and with integrity, for generations to come. That's Lipsky, 2009. Communicate and innovate. Focusing on one leadership style, it changes based on the needs of the moment GBS Corporate Training No Date explains this as situational leadership style. It requires flexibility for all involved because it is creative and dynamic. When accommodated, the situational leadership style is innovative and highly effective. California state standards include ethics in several subjects: arts, media and entertainment, fashion and interior design, health science and medical technology, marketing, sales and services, public services, world history and geography, medieval and early times, visual arts, computer science, and natural resources, developing possible solutions. Leadership has 195 standards taught primarily in grades 7 through 12. None are listed for computer science. Okay, if you're still with me, hang on. This section is covering a lot of territory in a very little space. Critical thinking, creativity, and compassionate communication are enduring understandings evolving into 21st century skills within the construct of the KDB umbrella. They also fit within the develop, implement, and evaluate components of the ADDIE framework. Creativity and critical thinking are soft skills that are synergistic with compassion. Communication is an umbrella skill that theoretically develops as other soft and hard skills evolve. Probably the strongest single way to develop creativity and critical thinking is to create learning environments where students must find their own way to the answers. One example is found in adaptive learning technology such as Dreambox, which uses machine learning algorithms to adapt to each student's learning style. It can help students to meet their learning goals and improve their test scores. This personalized learning can also help students to develop their creativity and critical thinking skills as they are given more autonomy over their learning process. Although there is no miraculous solution for addressing culturally diverse learning styles, according to Christopher 2022, page 159, learning to identify unique patterns of engagement empowers the facilitator and participants by revealing places to build bridges across communication chasms. Critical and creative thought are nonlinear. Nonlinear is a form of thought where you connect seemingly random thoughts. Nonlinear thinking is a way of thinking and problem solving that involves approaching a problem or situation from different perspective or angle. Instead of following a traditional linear approach to solving problems, nonlinear thinking involves using creative and unconventional methods to arrive at a solution. That's Siebold 2022. Nonlinear thinking can be in-the-box thinking. It has to do with how the thoughts are connected. Linear thoughts have an obvious connection between them. Nonlinear thoughts are not so obviously connected to each other. They tend to be more random. Wang speaks of personalized and collaborative learning. His analysis focused on relationships between teachers, students, and the machine. Maybe there is a more direct discussion regarding personalized learning in online classrooms. Personalized learning environments, PLE, can be understood as the set of tools, data sources, connections, and activities that each person uses assiduously to learn. Ramos Garcia Penlova, Conde Gonzalez, 2014. They speak of how this dynamic presents new educational spaces based on LMS that are mostly limited to the simple exposition of contents. It looks like the online academic environment is still developing these skills. They were in use in our online law and the legal system class, but we had two accomplished professionals in education and technology developing and teaching the course. WebCT also provided a platform that allowed for automation of the weekly exercises so that different styles of activities, true or false, multiple choice, fill in the blank, and matching, could be coded with different numbers of attempts, including feedback, so that the course was designed as a mastery learning activity, series of mastery learning activities. The exercises were complemented with a case scenario discussion board that facilitated critical thinking, creativity, compassion, and written communication. This catered to a variety of personal preferences and performance, allowing for somewhat of a personalized learning environment. Boyd and Mitchell, 2012, page 14, point out how large numbers of people have seen that creative action gets the goods and have begun to act accordingly. Patterns. Now, what follows are 5 quick descriptions of the patterns discovered in the 6 topics as they fall into the ADDIE framework under the KDB subheadings of Enduring Understandings and 21st Century Skills. Complementary multidisciplinary studies topics are revealed. Each week contains content for miniature-rich cumulative assessment tasks. Enduring Understandings Design. For example, under the ADDIE design concept within the Enduring Understandings construct, teach how emotion detecting can facilitate the process of identifying information needed to develop a personalized learning style environment that encourages strong leadership with good ethics. Enduring Understandings Implement. Inasmuch as emotion detecting is part of the design process, emotional awareness is involved in the implementation of lessons. This is where the feelings evolve from me to we. Use critical thinking to track personalized learning benchmarks. Be creative in adapting teaching structures. Compassionate communication displays ethical leadership during lesson design and implementation. 21st century skills. Analysis. Analysis is when the goals, standards used during design are matched with the progress made during implementation. Personalized learning dynamics can be evaluated against emotion detection feedback to determine whether the lessons are developing ethical leadership behaviors. 21st century skills. Develop. Develop is when new topics and updated design are added to the lesson plan templates. There is an element of emotional awareness in all leadership and ethics teachers. Much is in the modeling. Even more comes into play when considering cybersecurity. These understandings evolve with time and growth in the field. Adjust as each new iteration of the lesson takes shape. It takes several years to learn how to teach a new topic. Design and implement the first year, analyze and develop the second year, evaluate the third year, then begin again. As long as computer technology is incorporated into the learning environment, there will always be new material. The field is dynamic, and teaching it successfully requires critical thinking, creativity, and compassionate communication. 21st century skills. Evaluate. There's no new material required for evaluation, unless the development standard changed to include ideas such as rich cumulative assessment tasks. Let this be a moment for quiet, sincere deliberation about exactly what was happening. For example, the traffic has picked up in my Twitter and Facebook accounts since I locked them both private. Started sharing content across platforms. As an educator, this tells me that, in general, the people's personalized learning environment includes increased confidentiality. It takes a little emotional detecting, awareness, but without the computer reading things, to note the difference as soon as it happened. Using situational leadership born of a willingness to follow a dynamic teaching style predicates that the ethical choice is to proceed in privacy. Is it obvious that following each other's leads is a form of compassionate communication that frees creativity, making room to focus on critical thinking?